Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Lotus F1 team / Felipe Massa redemption career mode we're doing. We're just going through the owner creation process. But the aim of this career mode is simply to win Massa a World Championship. We'll be starting from the start. We're not going to win it in the first season and probably not the second either. But it's going to be fun to see what we can do with him and this car. It's going to start off really bad. But obviously Massa has recently been given the go-ahead to take his case against Bernie Ecclestone in the FIA for the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix to court. Whether he wins that, it's to be seen, and he's not going to win the World Championship retrospectively either. But it's interesting, and we're going to see if we can get him one. As we're just picking the engine, we're going with Mercedes, as it was the last engine that Lotus ran with. And Lotus are also on a bit of a redemption path. We're going to put Pepe Marti in the second seat, but they want to right the wrongs of 2015 and the bankruptcy and the bailiffs that ended up the Belgian Grand Prix. So let's see how successful we can be with this car.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all, because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they've been described as somewhat of an engineering genius, coming up with all the ideas to push the car and the sport to its limits. The question is, though, will they be able to step out of their comfort zone to deal with all the things that come with being a leader, dealing with the team's finances, sponsors, motivating the team and the drivers? Will they be able to juggle that, or will they drop the ball?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labor, the brand new 2025 car.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations, and all the very best for the season ahead.
I have to agree with Naomi Schiff because the car really does look beautiful. It's a fantastic mod, this one, and it is a gorgeous livery. But we're just gonna fiddle about with the engineering department. First of all, we're going to go for a pistons upgrade. We're going to research that. Don't have enough resource points for anything else, but it's a start and we will shortly. We're also going to improve a facility. We're going to expand the research of the powertrain department as well. Oh, yeah. Sorry, development expansion. And we're going to skip forward a little bit so we can get those resource points. We're interrupted with a driver talks very, very early on, but there's only really one driver I'm interested in at the moment, and that would be to replace Pepe Marti if he doesn't perform this season, and that is Isaac Hadjar.
I've reached out with
who has been fantastic this season, and I really want to get him in this car for season 2 or season 3. We're also going to go back into development and just have a quick look around. And there's nothing to research either, but we are going to pop in as well there. Do a couple of other facility upgrades. I want to upgrade the engineering department so we can work on 2 concurrent upgrades there in the facilities. And of course, start the season, the research is already delayed. We get more income in through the door. Now we're going to pop a front aero upgrade on the car as well. during the race I realised we probably should have gone for rear aero just from the feel of the car, but it's all good in retrospect to make those judgments. Let's go and have a look at the grid reveal for the 2025 alternate timeline. I'm so excited to get into this season. Not expecting big things from the off, but it's the Australian Grand Prix is going to be a wet one, so you never know. But before we get there, we've got a couple of more things to skip through. Just get that income in through the door, and again, the research has been delayed. But the expansion of the department is on there, so that's a start. And we're going to do a development expansion for the aero as well, because that's where we're focusing our resources at the moment. I still feel like it's going to take a while to get anything on the car, but we are going to develop one of these pistons because we don't have the money for both of them, unfortunately. And let's jump into the race weekend. We're obviously going to pick Felipe Massa, our boy for this season. And let's get into it. Straight away we're going to go through the Q1 lap. This is the only one I'm going to show in full. We're just going to look at the results for Q2 and then a bit of the lap in Q3. So first of all, the car is gorgeous on board. Just look at it. Perfect. Aside from the Renault badge on the front, we obviously haven't gone with the Renault engine, but I don't want to subject myself to that pain. Been a little bit overly aggressive. We were very close to the Haas in front, and we've really backed off. We stopped on track, caused a yellow flag, but there's no behind it.
P22.
So dumping the ERS down to about 72%, down into turn 1, braking nice and late. We're a little bit wide, but we carry a lot of speed through the exit. DRS enabled, we're going to dump a little bit more ERS down to 60%. Brake nice and early for turn 3. Again, a little bit unstable coming into the corner, but we're through. A little lift for turn 4. Okay, we're not going to look at it in full, apologies. I thought I'd left it in there, but anyway, later on in the lap, take a lot of curb through that corner, which lost us a little bit of time. Penultimate corner, nearly perfect. And then the car just doesn't like getting on power out of that final corner, but it's a good lap.
We need a quick lap, or that's
And we
qualifying
move
over for
ourselves
us.
up to 15th. We do get into Q2. Lando Norris top with Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc behind. The Sauber was looking really good in 4th and 10th. And we're going to scroll down to see who went out. So Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda with a surprise in career mode at least. Colapinto, Stroll, Behrman and Marty out as well. So we cut to the second half of the Q2 lap. We are purple in sectors 1 and 2. There were no corner cutting warnings, I promise. Clonk the curve into the right hander there. Can we take less curb through here this time? We do. Little lift. Not confident enough to take it flat, but then we lose a lot of time through there. Misjudge the braking through the penultimate corner, and again the car does not want to get on the power through the final corner. But we crossed the line, and it will be P3. Fantastic lap. Out in this session, the 2 RBs of Hadjar and Lawson, the 2 Williamses of Albon and Saints. Any surprises? Pierre Gasly getting into Q3, that's kind of a surprise, as well as ourselves. And then the 2 Saubers obviously went out as well. So, cut to Q3. Very liberal on the track limits in the first half of that corner. That chicane even. But we're gaining time on those around us. But I don't think we're going to have as much pace as we did in Q2, purely because the other guys are going to get faster. Lost a little bit of time through there, too wide. And then the penultimate corner, wide again. We've lost at least 3/10 through there. That compromises us for the final corner. We have to lift audibly a little bit there. We're going to come across the line. Where's it going to be? P8. A really, really good start to the career mode. Really good qualifying. And a good result there, it has to be said. For a new team, P8. Our car's by far the worst on the grid. I will take that. It just could have been a bit more had we not made those mistakes. But as you can see, there's a massive gap.
Be sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
There's a massive gap between Alonso and Leclerc there. We beat Gasly and Antonelli. So, you know, as far as it goes, it's a good start. Max Verstappen on pole with the two McLarens in behind. Do I think we'll maintain this position? I actually think we'll go forward a little bit, at least for a while.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28-mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 14 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. So watch out for a safety car at some point during this Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Hamilton, George Russell and Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Massa, Gasly and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Hadjar, Albon, Liam Lawson and Sainz, Bortoletto, Hülkenberg, Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda. Colapinto, Stroll, Behrman and Pepe Marti rounds off the grid. And alongside me in the commentary box today...
I'm skipping the Naomi shift bit. I don't really enjoy those bits, but we're gonna... It's a one-stop race, inters to inters. Gonna reduce the fuel, and also a thing to know, we've turned the aero up a bit as well, with it being wet. Marty was on the pace of the Haas in front of him, which is really good.
Lap is underway. These are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
Here we go then, the Australian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. We got a decent start. Alonso's going to try and cut across us. Rather cheekily, nearly puts us in the wall, but we're going to come out ahead. We're going to have a go at Leclerc as well. Up the inside, a little bit of contact there, but we've squeezed through. It's a really good start. Up 2 positions already. Dumps in the ERS. Are we going to send it on George into turn 3? We are. George gives us space, knows that we're there, and we're just going to swoop over to the racing line through turn 4 and cut him off there very nicely indeed. We're going to cut a little bit forward to later in the lap. We're trying to get after Hamilton, but Russell is not letting this one go without fight. He's on our inside. He's going to go for it. We're just going to have to brake later than him, and he does back out the move. And again, I'm very liberal on the track limits in the first part of the chicane, but then I've compromised myself on exit, but George is too far back. We're going to now try and settle in to get after Hamilton in that Ferrari and maybe take him off. before he starts pulling away, because he will pull away quite quickly too, I'd imagine. But as it is, we're gaining quite nicely through that final sector. Probably not enough to have a go into turn 1. But as we cut a little bit later to the same point in the next lap, we're a little bit further back, but we're still close. Unfortunately, it's too wet for DRS apparently, even though it's definitely just in the crossover period. As you can see, it's not actually that wet out there, but we get a really good run through turn 1 and turn 2. Lose a little bit of time on the exit, but that carrying that speed through the first sector enables us to just keep him in sight. We've got Russell just behind us, but if we nail this chicane here, which we do, we'll get a run on him down into the next right-hander, which is going to be a dive bomb, but we're going to have a go. This might be our only opportunity. We slide it over the inside, but no, we've got to back out. We're too far back, and Hamilton just about avoids a collision with us. It was worth a try, but that would be our only opportunity. I'm looking to get some grip, but as you can hear the car out of the final corner, it just refuses to get on power. So we move forwards a lap and a bit, and I'm struggling for grip and with this car in the wet. I really was struggling to turn in, get the exits
No tyre concerns
sorted,
at the moment, just
because
focus on the driving.
the acceleration just wasn't there. But now we've accepted that Lewis is gone, and we've just got to focus on keeping George Russell behind us. And that's exactly what we're going to do here, because he's in our slipstream. We're going to keep to the racing line. He thought about going to the outside, now he is going to go to the outside. We leave him the room, but he doesn't go for it that time. But we're a little squirrely coming out of the chicane, but we're safe. So we cut on to the next lap. This time he goes for the inside line and he gets the move almost done. We're going to have to flick towards the inside, but watch Charles Leclerc during this battle as well. Up the inside of Russell, and that will put him on the back foot with regards to Charles Leclerc. Next lap then, it's more of the same. George Russell in our slipstream down into the chicane. We're going to leave him space on the inside, but we've got to be careful of Leclerc, who is right on the scene now. We've got to keep nailing that chicane, which is the main place I'm gaining time in this race, to be honest. Everywhere else we're just losing it really, because there isn't the grip. We are safe for now, and as we cut on to lap 9, Leclerc's actually passed George Russell, so it's the Ferrari now who we've got to pay attention to, and this is going to be his first real opportunity to have a go at us. And we haven't got the best of exits from turn 6.
But I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Thanks for that useful information, mate. Leclerc up the inside now. We're going to do exactly what we did to Russell. Flick it back to the inside, a brake later, just about get it stopped at the back end, refusing to comply through that chicane. Leclerc's quite close on exit. He's gaining all the way down the straight, but he's not gaining enough, and we're able to make the next corner. He's still in front. This feels like it's going to be our battle right up until the pit stops. Ourselves, Russell and Leclerc, with Alonso just behind. We cut to the next lap, and Leclerc did have a look into turn 1. Nothing doing there seriously. We're going to try and find some time through this first sector, but we just can't. Like, look at this. We can't get the car turned in. We can't get grip on exit. We can't get grip through turn 4 no matter how much I lift, because the car just will not stay planted. We have to lift so much for turn 5. And this car should be flat, even in these conditions. And turn 6 is the only place we can kind of get the power down, nicely at least. But here we go then, down the straight to the chicane once more. Leclerc's there on the inside. We give him the space, knowing he's going to go for it, but he hasn't yet. And then there's a big smash behind us. I can't see it crash. We heard it audibly, and Russell's slowing. I think Russell's hit the wall and damaged his suspension. Let's have a look at his onboard. So we can see Leclerc, he's there or thereabouts. He does have the space. He's not gone for it. Russell turns to the right and he clonks the wall. And that's it for him. Front suspension damage out of the Grand Prix for the Mercedes. What a shame. But we carry on then. Next lap, Leclerc round the outside this time. I'm confident that I can force him to back
we've
off.
lost a position.
And
That's
he
us
does
down a
do
place.
that. But again, getting the power down. We are so close to losing the back end through that corner. It is unbelievable. But down into the next right-hander, Leclerc has another go. Squeeze him wide and just take our line. We're holding on to 5th place like it's our favourite granny at the minute. We cut to lap 14 and then we're going to do our one and only pit stop. Piastri's in ahead of us. Verstappen also pits, so Hamilton stays out and takes the lead of the race then. Sorry, no he doesn't. Norris is still in the race, sadly. The tyres are nearly gone. But in we come. It'll be our first pit stop as a Lotus F1 driver. Well, that's Felipe Massa. Nail the turn-in. Can the boys nail the stop itself? They can.
Okay,
It's
off
perfect.
we go, back
get
into the
straight
race.
out 2.5
Perfect
seconds.
job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop
And we
time.
are
We're
going
happy
to
with that one.
rejoin
Pit strategy complete.
in clean
See
air.
these tyres through to the end now.
Gasly and Hadjar ahead of Leclerc. We're ahead of Martin. So we're in clean air, and the guy behind us is our teammate. He's not going to overtake us or have a tasting. So we're in a good position after that pit stop. However, Marty's engine pops. So our teammates out of the Grand Prix. What's that going to mean in terms of safety cars? We're just going to pop back and see what's happened to him. It takes me a little while to find him, even though because I didn't realise until now that he was right behind us. But yeah, you can see, engine just pops.
Virtual
we get a
safety car,
VSC,
virtual
which is gonna
safety car.
absolutely
Reduce speed
screw us.
immediately and keep a positive
Because
delta.
Alonso has stayed out, and Alonso is only a little bit behind Charles Leclerc at pit stops. Fortunately, Leclerc's come in, but we are going to surely lose 5th place to Fernando here, which is very frustrating because we've hung on to it. Like I said, like our favourite granny, to use the Brundle quote, even though that's normally about 8 places. We're going to lose it out.
Okay, Pepe's out of the
virtual
race.
safety car brought out by our teammate. Not ideal at all.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty.
At this
Slow
point,
your
I'm
pace
just
immediately.
praying that it ends before Alonso gets to the pits so that we can speed up. But as you can see on the mini-map, he's in. Hamilton's in as well. Norris has already made his stop. So we're really getting shafted here. And right as Alonso has pitted and is pretty much on his way out, the virtual safety car ends. We have to lift because we're too under the delta. And we just go. Floor it out the final corner.
Okay, looks like
Dump
some of those
the
puddles
ERS.
are clearing.
Just try
We're
and
still
use as
definitely
much
on
as
the
we
right
can.
tyre for the time being,
But
we're probably not a
unfortunately,
million
Alonso
miles away
has
from
jumped
slick
us,
conditions.
and Antonelli's
Okay,
going to
gap
have
to the car ahead.
a chance at this. We're going to just swoop
4.5
around the
seconds.
outside. We made the move off the track, but I'm not giving it back. I'm fuming about the VSA situation. We've dropped down to 6th, behind Fernando Alonso. And Piastri will be fuming as well because he lost 3rd to Hamilton in that. And Verstappen's lost the lead to Lando. So Norris, Hamilton and Alonso all
Battery charge.
gained there. We're trying our hardest to get up to the back of Alonso, but just like it was Hamilton earlier in the race, we just haven't got the pace, we haven't got the grip, and we've got to focus more on Antonelli behind. I say we haven't got the pace, we do set the
Great
fastest
work,
lap,
that's
but
a new fastest
you know,
lap of
these
the
guys
race.
are on their out laps. Yes, we have to focus on Antonelli behind more than Alonso in front, which is very frustrating. But that's where we're at. It's race 1. We have a crap car and we actually go deep into turn 3. And Antonelli is right on our tail now. Luckily, he did fall away towards the end of this lap. And this is about as close as I get to Alonso in this Grand Prix. 1.1, 1.2 behind. We gain a lot of time through the sort of middle half of the lap with the fast chicane and the following right-hander. Then after that we just lose so much time because we have no grip and I try my absolute hardest to gain as much time as I feasibly can. But we just can't do it. We just don't have the car underneath us. So we lose time all the way down, and at this point I give up on Alonso. We skip forward to lap 23 because nothing really happens before then. And now we're really vulnerable to Antonelli. Whatever happens, there's a 4-second gap back to Gasly behind him. So that's okay, we've got something to drop into. But Antonelli does go around the outside. We just don't use too much ERS. We save it, get in the slipstream, and then attack him. And it's a lovely move, really, and we do just about get it stopped. Lift through the second part of the chicane, which I don't normally do, but got the move done. Antonelli's still behind us. And we are still in P6, but as you can see, Alonso got away 4.3, and then we cut to the next lap, it's 4.7, and then we make a mistake. And Antonelli, who was a second behind, is now 6/10 behind. And that's just going to decrease as we go through the final corner without any pace. Down the main straight, but his engine pops. Antonelli loses his engine. So Mercedes double DNF at the first race of the season. We're focused on what's going on behind and really mess up the first couple of corners. And that is going to lead to a second VSC of the race, which we can't make anything of. It's not going to help us, it's not going to hurt us. So 3 laps from the end, Gasly's gaining on us. We've honestly kind of given up. We know we haven't got pace in the car to get after Alonso, and his gap has just ballooned because I just messed up the virtual safety car by a lot. I just backed everyone up because I was angry that it wasn't a full safety car because it made no difference to us. But as it happens, we're just going to basically cruise towards the end of the Grand Prix and hope that Gasly can't pick us off. You know, at the end of the day, it's P6. It's a great start for this team, and I'm just getting greedy because we had a better first half of the race. You know, 5th place should have been ours, but it was taken away. And that annoyed me at this time almost as much as the fact that I didn't have the car underneath me to challenge, but that will come with time. So we got onto the final lap. P6 is imminent, but then our left rear blows up, and all our good work, all race, and I do try and flash back to see if I can save it, but the tyre is going irrespective of what I do. There you go, you can hear it go again. Gasly and Leclerc, we let them through, we try and make the corner, we just spin, we've got no grip, and at this point I'm livid. I come back on really unsafe and I smash into Tsunoda, who then is hit by Hulkenberg, taking those two out of the race. 10-second penalty, deserved, got no pace.
Here's some information on Hulkenberg. Okay, they're out of this race.
And at this point, my heart's dropped into my stomach. 6th place, and what would that be, 8 points lost because of a blown tyre. I didn't even think about tyre wear, to be honest, because the first stint was so stable, and the left rear blows up on the last lap. We're not even going to bring it into the pits. I want to come across the line and finish the Grand Prix. We've taken out Tsunoda and Hulkenberg and gotten a deserved 10-second penalty. Really, it should be a grid drop for the next race. But so ends the first race of the season, and it is tragic. I was absolutely livid with this. But game's the game, unfortunately. These things
race
happen.
over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And there was nothing I could do to save it in the end. So P17 and last in the Grand Prix, our teammate retired. It was a double DNF for Mercedes, which makes me feel a little bit better. But I was so angry, I'd normally watch the podium celebrations, especially with it being Verstappen winning the race, as a Verstappen fanboy.
To take the win at the first
But I watched a little
race
bit
of
of it
the
and I was
season,
like,
now
I just
that
want to
is
move on.
important. You get
And I
straight
skip
in
it,
to your
yeah.
competitors'
Because I just want to get into the results and get it over with. And I could go through these quite fast. So Verstappen wins, Norris second, Hamilton third, Piastri fourth, Alonso fifth, Gasly great in sixth. Hadjar, Albon and Sainz also scoring good points for their teams. But as you can see, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Antonelli, Marti and Russell all out. In the standings, obviously the drivers mirror the results. In the constructors, McLaren take the lead from Red Bull and Ferrari. We should have been 5th. Instead, we are 10th.